Senator Ron Johnson is clearly not happy with the Republicans' big, beautiful bill.
Johnson believes the bill in its current form will raise the debt to 60 trillion, yes, that's trillion with a T dollars, in 10 years. Here he is on Fox Business.
It's completely unsustainable. So we've got to get this under control, but give the president the border funding, extend current tax law, take an automatic tax increase off the table, make sure we don't default on our debt. We could have already had that done. Republicans aren't fixing the problem. We're exacerbating it. That's unacceptable.
It seems like some people, at least, are listening to Johnson. House Speaker Mike Johnson signaled on Thursday that the bill might undergo changes. He didn't say what exactly would be changed, but added that everything was on the table.
Now, meanwhile, Democrats, yes, there are two parties in Washington, are concerned with the bill's apparent Medicaid cuts. Senator Elizabeth Warren wrote on Blue Sky, quote, about half of all births are covered by Medicaid. Over a third of all kids have health care thanks to Medicaid. More than half of all nursing home residents are covered by Medicaid. So understand this, when the GOP attacks Medicaid, they attack families in every community.
All right, so obviously here, Chris, we have the classic conservative faction of the Republican Party battling with the moderates over spending. I mean, it's a tale as old as time in Washington.
I was going to say, I'm way older than you, and I feel like every couple years, it's like the one thing you can rely on.
Yeah.
The conservatives complaining that we're spending too much, and there's not that many of them anymore, but the New England Republicans saying, well, we need to raise the state and local taxes, the SALT exemption. It's like, these two things are as regular as a clock.
I've got GOP fatigue, but I mean, the other part of this that I think is interesting is one of the major campaign promises that apparently is not in this bill is the no tax on Social Security.
Yes.
Instead, they're offering some tax relief for seniors, but only post-retirement. It's very...
Well, here's breaking news. Like, I'm no economist, but like when you have no tax on tips and a giant tax cut or extension of the Trump tax cut, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, you're going to have an increase to the debt.
You got to figure out a way to offset that.
And at the same time, you've had Doge doing its thing for 3 months, offering up all of this, bounty of potential cuts to be made. And Congress doesn't have to take all of them. Some are better than others. Yep. Some are politically more salvageable than others. But it doesn't seem like they took any of them seriously. Where are the Doge cuts?
I know, and it feels like for everything that Donald Trump has disrupted in Washington in whatever, I've lost count, 120 days, right? I lost count after about 110. This is a place where it does feel like we're kind of reading from the same songbook we always read from, right? It's like Chip Roy, the congressman from Texas, being like, we're spending too much and we're not making enough cuts. Mike Lawler from New York, it's not always Mike Lawler, but a Mike Lawler-like figure saying like, this isn't good and we're the ones who made the majority. So yeah, the other thing is, I wonder what you think about this because I think you have a better read on conservatives than I do. Do you think that they have to, like that? My view always has been they're going to pass something, and whatever passes the House probably isn't the thing that passes the Senate, but that there will be something. I don't know how beautiful or big it will be, but there will be something because otherwise, I don't know what else they do. Like, I'm not sure what the next 2 years is, and they want to look like they're supporting Trump. So it's like, I don't know how much of this is just sound and fury signifying nothing. Like
they'll pass something.
Okay.
It'll include one or two of the major Trump priorities, probably the tax cuts, the extension of the tax cuts, and everything else will be left out, but they'll claim because they did the tax cuts that they were supporting Trump. It's a more MAGA dressing on a Paul Ryan salad.
Yeah. It's weird because it's like Paul Ryan isn't, is Paul Ryan even a Republican? I guess Paul Ryan probably calls himself a Republican, like if you asked him. But like he's not even close to the current sort of like Trump Republican. But it is, and it's the same thing. It's so funny, I read this morning, it said, so I can't remember what headline because I'm skimming everything. But like it said, Republicans focusing concerns about the debt and deficit reemerging. I was like, is this 2012?
Yeah, it feels that way.
Because it's the same. The thing that I find depressing, and this is definitely true, Democrat or Republican, is like we have the same. Everybody is like, we need to address the debt and deficit for our children or our grandchildren, but no one ever does anything. That's why let's say I agree with everything Ron Johnson says, or like Mike Lee is definitely Utah senator is definitely in that space too, or Chip Roy, but like they're not totally wrong. Like we have a system that kicks the can down the road.
Yeah.
And at some point, we are going to be in hoc to China we may already be, but in hoc to China at a level that is going to be paralyzing. And I think no one really cares because, voters don't vote on debt and deficit.
That's the
really.
thing. They want to get reelected, and when you
Tax
have
cut.
and when you have Democrats saying, well, if you cut Medicaid, people are going to die. It's like, we can't touch Medicaid now. And the thing with that is particularly frustrating to me is that I actually think the Republicans found a nice niche on that issue, because what they plan to do is just unroll some of the expansion of it during the Obama and Biden years,
under Obamacare.
Right. We're not going to have able-bodied adults get Medicaid without a work requirement. We're going to reduce the cap for federal reimbursement back down to where it was before the ACA took place. And to me, that's a very reasonable way of making the program more solvent.
And then the politics of it. I mean, I always say to people, if you're serious about the reducing the debt deficit, look, the Defense Department budget and then the entitlements, Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, is like 80 to 85% of what we spend.
Yeah.
So if you say we're just going to wall that off, well, we're talking about 15% of the federal budget.
And meanwhile, we have now a $1 trillion defense budget that we're talking about.
$1 trillion. It's the number of people who live in this area who have gotten incredibly wealthy off of winning one contract from the Defense Department. And that makes, it is, the amount of money, I don't think people realize that. Say it again, $1 trillion. The amount of money washing around the Defense Department and the contractors lobbying space, talk about a story that's undercovered.
Yeah. Before we go, I used to live next to the Boeing headquarters in Crystal City.
Yep.
And they have the Boeing Long Bridge Park next to their big headquarters, right? And it's this concrete, depressing park with 2 trees, but it's so Boeing can say, hey guys, we got all this money from the taxpayer, but look, we beautified.
Look at this beautiful concrete jungle we built.
Look at this sidewalk we built. Isn't it amazing? Next up, Tulsi Gabbard is accusing former FBI Director James Comey of calling for Trump's murder. Find out why next.